Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
When the hunt matters, trust the gear that's built to perform. At Scree Gear, we design premium hunting apparel that keeps you comfortable, concealed, and ready for whatever the mountain throws your way. From early season spot and stalk hunts to late season extremes, Scree Gear is trusted by hunters who refuse to compromise. And if you want to sharpen your skills and follow real hunting adventures, watch Scree TV on Waypoint TV. Visit ScreeGear.com to gear up today. Then catch Scree TV on Waypoint TV and experience the hunt like never before.
Well, alright, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast with Kevin and Chuck. Today we're going to talk about water treatment. Now, seems most importantly, when you're trying to survive, the most important thing is water. And, you know, you can go, 7 days, 8 days without food? Not too long without water. Something like 2 or 3, right?
Right. About 3 days is when you max
3
out.
3 days. So
that's when you die.
It sounds boring. It's not the hot topic. It's not, knives or guns, which I love. We're getting there. We're going to have your knife episode. We'll have guns. But honestly, when it comes to survival, water treatment, water purification is kind of a crucial skill to learn. And
yeah,
somebody's got to do it.
It's important to have your water situation sorted out before you need it. There's definitely ways to get your water straightened out afterwards, gather water, purify it, but it's best to have some water stored up. I mean, everybody, you need about a gallon a day per person.
Okay.
About a half gallon to drink, and another half just to,
right,
wash
for normal use.
Wash your balls and brush your
expected,
teeth. That's important stuff.
Now, I heard, I was watching this show, and this lady was talking, and she said, oh, well, the average house uses 50 gallons of water a day. And I'm thinking, no, I'm thinking they're using a lot more. Mm-hmm. Thinking about showers. I'm thinking about dishwashers. I'm thinking about washing machine.
Yeah.
I don't think you're getting away with 50 gallons. Do you have any idea?
In my mind, I always thought of it as about 70 gallons
that sounds
a day
about
per
right.
person. If you include the dishwasher.
Yeah.
If you include the showers and the washing your hands and flushing the toilets.
Right, I mean, I understand you were talking about drinking water a minute ago. I get it, but I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's all water that comes from your tap, So, people water their gardens. People do a lot of stuff with their water,
Okay.
Not every gallon that comes out of your tap is a gallon of water you're drinking, obviously.
Right.
But how safe is your tap water? I mean, that's a thing I hear a lot of misinformation about.
It's a big concern on the news lately. We hear about, where is it? Detroit or where? No, it wasn't Detroit.
Yeah, Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan, right.
Yeah. Lead pipes, they just made some mistakes there, and some serious mistakes. I know there's some lawsuits going on with that, justifiably. If you can't trust your government or your municipality to give you clean water.
I don't mind that shit happens and that you have old plumbing and old things and things were done in a different time, different generation. But once the government becomes aware of the problem,
right,
and then keeps it from the people, that's where I find fault.
Mm-hmm.
It
doesn't immediately.
I took some law classes when I was younger, and there was a lot about in order to sue somebody in a civil suit. The idea, and I know, you can point out a million cases that are contrary to this, but in order to sue somebody in a civil suit, it's supposed to be, did they act in the way that a reasonable person would act? Mm-hmm. If it snows and it's icy, did they put salt on their front steps? Mm. That's what a reasonable person would do.
Right.
But to go out and use a, hoe and break everything up for 2 hours and be out there every half hour as the snow's falling, that's beyond what a reasonable person would do.
Right.
And it's the same thing. If you put in plumbing, at the time it was appropriate to use whatever pipes.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they did what a reasonable person does, whatever. I mean, I don't know the details of the case, but, reasonable. But once it's brought to their attention and you don't do anything, or at least warn the people, hey, we have a problem, then that's where it does become gross negligence, and, really they should be held accountable.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's not that, you're paying for the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a bill. If you're on, town water, village water,
Yeah.
you get a bill. And if you're paying for it, it shouldn't be poisoning you. And,
Well, what if it just makes you a little bit dumber?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of dumb kids running around my neighborhood here. And
maybe there is some lead problems.
Maybe. But whatever. That's a different episode altogether.
All right.
I did threaten to cut off one of my neighbor kid's fingers the other day.
Maybe you had too much lead.
His luck. I got some new clippers because my last one's disappeared, and I said, if you mess with these, man, if you run off with these, I'm gonna clip your fingers off. And that little jerk runs up and grabs them, and then runs off laughing.
You challenged him.
Yeah, no, I challenged his supremacy. The 8-year-old had to prove that he was the alpha male of the neighborhood.
And at the end of the day, he still got all his fingers.
Yep, he still got all 10.
So now I'm seeing where the problem lies.
Yeah, no, I really needed to break, at least break a couple of them. That would have been appropriate. Now we're talking about the water that you get if you're on municipal water, if you're on town or village water. That water that's coming into your tap is clean. They spend a lot of money filtering it, testing it, and it's great for those companies that that sell the home filtration systems to say, oh well, you've got
Brita filter,
0.2 nanograms of calcium in your water. Calcium isn't bad for you. There's a lot of stuff in your water that they don't clean out that's not bad for you.
Okay.
But they test for lead, they test for copper, they test for halicetic acid, they test for chloroform, they test for a lot of things that you wouldn't even think of. They test for E. coli, any sort of bacteriological growth. They spend a lot of money testing for this stuff, and you need to, every year, every town, municipality, at least in New York State, and I think it's probably, close to 40 or 45 states, has an annual water report that goes to the town board and the mayor, and you can get a hold of that if you're concerned about your water, and it will tell you any tests that failed, all the tests that they took,
now,
and the filtration systems they use.
Do the municipalities have any obligation to notify me when things go wrong? Or?
Yeah, well, it's a lot of the time they call it a boil water notice, right?
Okay.
I think you've probably heard of this.
So, but if it's unsafe to drink, I'm going to get some kind of alert.
You're gonna get a phone call. You're gonna get somebody knocking on your door. It's not like they're gonna send a letter out.
Okay.
There's going to be somebody that personally gets in touch with you and tells you that your water is not safe. I think that's probably part of what the main issue was in Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
Nobody went out knocking on doors and telling everybody what's going on.
Okay. So, all right. So we're assuming that water's good coming from the town.
Right. And if you are concerned about it, definitely invest a little bit of time. Contact your local government. You could probably even just go down and take a tour of your water treatment plant. Every town has one. It's not, this is not a hot topic that everybody likes to talk about and think about. But you've got a water system in your town that delivers your water. So, I mean, a good idea to have right off the bat is, getting some of that water stored up. Get some of that water. If you have clean jugs and things like that, go ahead and fill them up. get a couple gallons in your basement right now. Pause the podcast and go do that right now, and then come back. But whatever you got to do, just have some extra sitting around.
All right. I'm thinking they shouldn't pause the podcast. Really, you have to have your priorities straight. And they should keep listening at all costs. It's too late. They've already gone. They're already off.
Yeah, no, I know. The people that stuck around, we've got more for you. But they'll come back to it.
They'll come back. All right. At least you said pause, not delete or... Mm-hmm. All right.
Now, if you're on a water system, like I have a water tower that supplies my house.
Okay.
So... if all the electricity goes out, everything goes out for days, I've got a couple of days of
where
water.
Water's going to keep coming out of the faucet.
Out of my taps. Yeah.
Now, what if everybody panics and starts filling their washing machine, their tub, their...
Well, I hope they do, because I'm going to do that. That's the first thing
I'm
going to do.
Yeah. Gallon chugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean, the truth is, after you fill everything out, and all your neighbors are taking showers and flushing their pee down, in an emergency, if it's yellow, let it mellow, just take it easy. There's no need. But, so let's say hypothetically that you can't trust the water that you're getting. You've got to go out into the backyard, scoop it out of a stream. You got to go down to wherever. There's a few basic, easy ways to clean your water.
That's really what we're trying to get at. So what do you got?
Well, I mean, the first thing you want to do before you're disinfecting it, you want to get all the bulk of stuff out of the
turbidity,
water.
the big particles, whatever.
And a good way to do that is just pour it through a t-shirt or something. Catch the sticks,
filter, whatever, right.
the leaves and things like that, and get it so it's somewhat clean. Let the sediment settle out, and do that. And then you can think about disinfection.
That's one of the big things, actually, that I've heard is things like the Life Straw and different things.
Yeah.
Is they go and they do it, but it clogs up right away because it is such a fine filter.
Right.
And you really need to, even something like that, put a T-shirt in front of it.
Right.
Then fill it up. Screen the water first, get rid of the bigger stuff, and then the Life Straw is going to last longer, whatever you do. Because you don't want to, clog up the super fine filter with nonsense,
with stuff that exactly. That's a good point. A good point. So there's like 4 basic ways of cleaning water, of disinfecting it.
Okay.
The first one and the second one are not really something you can seriously do at home. One would be reverse osmosis, and that's like a process where it's such a fine filter.
Yeah, that's where I get worried.
It's too small for even bacteria to fit through the openings.
Wow. And that's actually a problem I run into a lot, where people will have ice makers and things in their fridges, and they'll make tiny cubes and keep clogging up, different things like that. And it's because they have this stupid reverse osmosis system, and it goes through that, and then it has no water pressure when it gets to the fridge.
Right.
And they fight me, left and right. Oh, it's not that, and whatever. And the bottom line, they sell an aftermarket pump to build up the pressure again for your reverse osmosis system. But it's like $200, and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't want to do that.
I don't need that."
But they call me, and I charge them $75 to come out, every time, and they keep calling me back. I don't understand why they won't just buy the pump. Yeah. But that's it. It takes so much pressure to get back.
Right, and it's not even a realistic.
You filter it.
If you're in the business of cleaning, 50 million gallons a day. Maybe that's a system that's worthwhile. But if you're in the business of cleaning out 5 gallons for yourself, it's not realistic. No. It's not a good idea. But another one would be like evaporating water off, evaporating it and collecting it.
Kind of like in the Survival at Sea podcast we did, where evaporate and then condensating it back down. Is that what?
Yeah. And it's not a realistic way for inexpensive and fast.
Well, you can do it with salt water, though. So we're by the ocean. We can do that. Mm-hmm. When we're Tom Hanks and we're stuck out on the island, then that's looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. There's also some way of filtering it through the sand that I've read about when you're stuck on the island.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, one of the best filters for water is dirt and sand.
oh yeah,
It's if you're in an emergency and you're out in the wilderness and have no way to clean your water, it's safer to dig a hole next to a stream
and let it fill
and
in.
let it fill and collect that water to drink.
Through the rocks
Yeah.
and the dirt and then whatever sand. Yeah, that's smart.
It's better.
And I've seen a lot
than,
of like make your
than-
own filter where they're doing where they're taking a maybe a 5-gallon bucket and then they do a layer of cloth, a layer of sand, a layer maybe charcoal, different things. I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're doing, and you got to research it on your own. I'm sure you'll find something. But I mean, you can kind of put together your own thing, and like you said, filtering it through. It's definitely going to clean it.
Right. It's
Whether it
cleaner.
Makes it,
that doesn't mean
it's
you're not going to get
cleaner.
diarrhea.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, if you're trying to get water, that's not the best illness to have.
No.
But the best way to do it, safe, and inexpensively, is to just disinfect it at home.
Okay, and how do we do that?
You can use, bleach. You can get a gallon of bleach for $1. And now, bleach. If you drink bleach, you're gonna bleed out of your anus. It's not.
It's not really where I'm
what you
looking
want to
at.
do. You got to be very careful with your mixture.
All right.
I think anywhere between 8 and 13 drops of bleach in a gallon of water
Okay.
is a good mix.
All right.
Don't pour a capful in there. Don't do a splash out of the jug. You got to be careful with it, and you're gonna have to give it retention time. What that's gonna do is give that bleach time to activate and kill off any of the bacteria.
Now, is
in
that
the
10
water.
minutes or is that an
That's
hour?
an hour.
That's an hour.
I mean,
Okay.
I would say a half hour is safe, but if there's not an emergency, there probably is an emergency. Give it extra half hour.
All right. So maybe an emergency, but not an emergency that can't wait a half hour.
Right.
All right.
Give it an hour. Let it do its thing.
Wait, now it's an
And then
hour.
again.
You're killing me. All right.
All right. You can also use a lot of people have swimming pools.
Okay.
Chlorine
Yeah.
is the same thing as bleach. It's just concentrated.
Okay.
So with hypochlorite is what they call that,
Right.
the liquid chlorine. Give that I think about 3 drops per gallon is
Okay.
what they recommend.
For the more concentrated, right?
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I know in the past I bought them. I actually did some, home water treatment stuff that we were doing, and basically I was buying those 5-gallon jugs. I think for $15, and this is at the local pool guy. I'm sure, water treatment. You're buying them in bulk from whatever for nothing, but. Bottom line, local pool guy, I think they got you for $5 for the can and then $15 to fill it. So $20, but then you bring the can back, you get your $5 back, or or you keep reusing it.
It's not very expensive
Right.
when you're thinking about it that way. And it's not a
and
bad
that's it.
idea.
And 3 drops. So if you're buying 5 gallons, 3
Yeah,
drops.
that's going to last you forever.
So if you kept that, next to your furnace, a 5-gallon bucket of chlorine.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe that chlorine has some other uses.
Well, yeah, and chlorine does degrade. If you're going to try and
Okay.
store for a long time, cold and out of the sunlight is
out of the sunlight is
guaranteed.
crucial. Yeah.
And even though it's in that jug, it's in that container.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You
Really?
need to get it down.
Okay.
Out of away from the windows and just down away from the UV light.
Yeah, sunlight
And
just
the-
eats
and the
chlorine like crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Keep it as cool as you can. Stick it in your basement, whatever you want to do, and you'll be pretty safe for a while. But I mean, it's again, you want to give it that hour of
contact
retention
time. I think. Yeah.
And you can go out to one of your pool supply areas, stores, and you can buy a chlorine test kit.
Right.
And you can test your own water after you've
Right.
you've mixed it and make sure you're not going to poison yourself.
I think you can go in a Target and buy that back by the pool supplies.
Right. It's not expensive.
It's not a big deal, right?
It's a handy thing to have around the house and in
Okay.
your cabinet,
Yeah, I think I bought some kind of pH and chlorine tester for the pool, and
and
it was like $6-7. It wasn't
Right, and it's a good way to make sure you're keeping it safe. What you want to do with those things is chlorine. You want to have it between 0.3 and 4 parts per million.
Now, oh yeah, I should be on that.
Well, you test that with the test kit.
The little tester will say 0.3, or 1.0, and
anything above 4, you're kind of you're pushing it. Yeah.
Now, I don't want to ask and get us into trouble here, but now we can treat it for bacteria and things like that with the chlorine. Now, what about toxins in the water? Is that something we need to be concerned about, or is it not relevant?
It's not really relevant when you're talking about stream water or that sort of stuff. It's not very likely to be in that water.
Okay.
The safest place to get water is from a spring.
Right.
Spring water. It doesn't matter where you are. If it's coming out of the ground, you can drink it. Yeah. So that's a safe bet there.
Right.
But as far as lead and those sorts of things, you're not going to find that in stream water.
Okay.
So all right. So you're out of water. You have no bleach, no chlorine. Your last line of defense is boiling the water. Now it's not too difficult to do. Cavemen made fire. You can do it too. Not too difficult. You want to give it a boil for at least a minute.
A minute, okay.
A good rolling
I think the
boil.
Boy Scouts, it was 10 minutes was always the rule.
Yeah, you're safe with a minute.
A minute,
Safer with 5, but you're safer with a minute.
Okay.
And but I'm not talking about a minute over the fire. I'm talking about a minute of rolling boil.
Right.
And it's it'll kill off anything that's in it. The problem with that sort of stuff is you don't want to be doing that last minute with that. You're going to end up with ashes and pieces of, stuff in your water, and it's just going to end up being gross. You're going to be spitting out grit. Just be prepared with the chlorine, with the bleach. Even a gallon bleach jug.
Yeah.
You can, even after it's empty, you can fill it up and dump it out something like 50 times. And still, with the residual that's on the inside of that bottle, to clean that water out.
Oh, it's better than no option.
It's like magic. Bleach and chlorine is like magic.
All right.
Just make sure you just give it that time again. So that's that's really the best the basics of cleaning your water.
All right.
Now when you do this sort of stuff, you can fill up containers. And you can store, once it's disinfected and you're putting in a clean container, you can store it for a year, 5 years, 10 years even.
Can it? 10 years? Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Because it's already disinfected and there's no bacteria in obviously you clean the container first.
Right.
But once it's sealed up, that's it. You're good. You're safe. So it's not a bad idea to get the gallon jugs when you're at the store. What do they cost? $1 or something like that?
Right.
$1.50.
We can buy the Target
Get a
brand.
gallon.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just stick it in your basement, and you're good.
And you're good. All right. No, I like it. And I mean, really, that's the simple, easy. Now, you've tried these, like the Life Straw or any of these other?
Yeah, I've
tried
them.
When you go do your camping trips,
they're just a big pain in the ass, and they take too much time. In my opinion, I know a lot of people swear by them, but they're it's overkill, overpriced, and you're just wasting time trying to suck out of a stream, sucking your brain out through your mouth because it's just too much work, too much expense. Bring a little dropper with you if you're going camping.
Bring the dropper and then call it good.
Yeah.
All right. No, not bad. Sounds like we've covered it.
Yeah. Now,
yes.
I know you've got well water.
Yes.
On your own property.
Yes.
And you had some problems with that. You had sulfur in your water. Is that?
I had sulfur in the water, and what I ended up doing. It's weird. I went a million ways to try and solve the problem. And, maybe I didn't have all the knowledge in the begining. Mm-hmm. You have the knowledge after the fact because you've tried everything,
right.
You
know what doesn't work.
I know it doesn't work, 1,000 ways to fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I ended up doing was when you know I had sulfur and there's a lot of iron in the water, different things, and so I was like, just like you're saying, oh, you know, I should get a chlorine pump and add it to my water and whatever. Well, the problem was both me and the previous owner who kind of started this whole process ended up being too cheap, too lazy, too, I don't know, not thinking. I didn't have a contact tank.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was you're getting the wife complaining about dried out hair. You're getting, you know, oh, it's lightening the clothes. My uniforms for work aren't dark. They're, you know, starting to turn light colors because they're chlorinating.
Right.
You know, they're you know, the acid's eating away at it, and that's a problem. So this was, you know, going on, and again, maybe if I'd bought a big contact tank, but still, you know what? It sucked. Like I said, I was going to the pool place, buying the big 5 gallons of chlorine. I'm mixing it up because it was, you know, you had to have a percentage of water and chlorine and whatever. You get it on your clothes. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to deal with chlorine. It's one thing,
Not
gallon
day
jugs
in, day out.
and a dropper, and it's another thing when I'm freaking, carrying big jugs and splashing it all over everything and a pain in my ass. So, needless to say, then I went to the little house water filters, you know, that you screw in, and believe it or not, they sucked.
Yeah.
So what happened was, in order to be fine enough to stop the sulfur smell and get rid of all the things that were a problem for me, it would clog up in less than a month. And the same thing. I shut the water off, I undo it, water's dripping out all over the place, pain in my ass, the big cup, I change the filter. It's just a mess and a pain in my ass. And then, now we have crappy water pressure because, you know, you let it go 3-4 weeks too late, and now, you know, it just sucks.
Right.
So then I was like, all right, that's it, I've had it. I'm going to go buy and set it up in like 4 stages. So I was going to buy, you know, a small, and then, you know, like high micron, you know, stopping and down, you know, progressively get finer and finer. So, went to do that, went up to Lowe's, and they had a Whirlpool house water filter. And what this was, it looks like a water softener. It's a big tank that you actually hook in line with your plumbing, except instead of being a stupid filter you change all the time, it backwashes itself. And so that was the dream, and because I was like, oh, no filter, I guess it's filled with crystals, you know, whatever, who knows. Magic. That's what I always tell my customers. It's just filled with magic. And so this thing, basically, ideally, I think they tell you, have it backwash once a week, and it'll blow all the particulates out. And a backwash takes about 20 seconds, and you can have it just put into the waste pipe of your house, like next to your washing machine. Or mine, I actually just drill the hole in the wall and have it spray outside. Because whatever, it's water.
Right.
You know, so I did that. This thing, it's made by Whirlpool, and I ended up having to bump it up so that it was backwashing every single day. But I'm about 4 years into this thing. It costs, I think, $290 or something, and it solved all my problems. Now I'm starting to get a little smell back, a little iffy, but at 4 and 5 years old. But now, to replumb it, I just have to undo the threaded hoses on it and put it back in and change it out. Yeah, it's $300 every 4 years, but if you're dealing with sulfur water, you know what? That's not that bad.
Right. Not being able to drink your own tap water is miserable.
Yeah, it sucks. And that's it. You know, people complain, my laundry smells, my, you know, the different things. It's just not worth the headache.
Yeah.
And, you know, for something so easy, but again, it's something that plugs into the wall. It needs electricity.
Right.
So you're not off the grid with it.
Yeah, and it's not so easy when you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Now, I believe it only needs the electricity to have a clock and backwash. So it's going to filter it.
Right.
But just the same. And yeah, I mean, honestly, most people would have to call a plumber, unless you're doing your own basic plumbing. you'd need to call a plumber to hook this thing up, and I'm sure that costs. But like I said, after it's put into place, then it's just turning a wrench and connecting it to the new threaded on.
You can do it yourself
but,
once you're set.
If you're a man and you can't do plumbing fittings, you know what? Maybe it's time you learn.
Maybe you're not a man.
Maybe you're not a man. Maybe you should go shave, go back to, whatever. Put on your slacks and your button on, your Brooks Brothers. And,
I don't even know what short pants are, but I always hear people refer to, I knew him when he was in short pants. You need to go find your short pants and put them back on and start over from the beginning.
Put them back on, because that's it. But, that's really where, what it comes down to. So,
right.
It's being a man. You got to take care of things. And, I put it off long enough, and, I kept fighting. Because the thing is, you want it to work. You have an idea, and you're like, I can chlorinate this. I can do it. I'm going to get it just right. If I do a little more, a little less, it'll be enough to kill the smell and enough to, not bleach my clothes. But, damn it, just... And then, honestly, your water table changes. It rains, it's winter, it's the salt trucks are going by every day, and they're salting the groundwater and different things. And I know people say they don't have that much of an effect, but I think it does. And just these things matter,
Yeah.
So, and whatever it is. And maybe it's little freaking gremlins in the ground, but my water changes. Some day it smells more, some days it doesn't. And, that's the bottom line. And honestly, where I'm at with the filter now, on good days, you don't smell anything at all. And on bad days, you're starting to get a hint of it. But, you do what you can do.
But you went about and you solved your problem, more or less.
That's it. And really, whenever she starts complaining, I can go throw $300 at it, and problem solved.
Right.
And you know what? Anybody who's got a problem like that, $300 is worth getting it solved. So that's where I could leave that. So I also wanted to mention, if you noticed when you guys downloaded the website today, you'll see that the logo is a little different, and that's just a one-time thing for today. We actually had a patch made up that resembles that logo that you see in the emblem there. And what I did is I actually have 50 of them here. And the first 50 people that email me, send me their address, tell me you want one, I'm going to send it to you completely free. I'm even going to pay for the shipping. That's how cool I am.
That's pretty cool.
'Cause I'm a pretty cool guy, let me tell you. And,
what's the patch? It's about 3.5 inches?
Yeah, I don't know.
Something
like that,
like
3.5, 4 inches. And,
it's an iron-on patch. So you don't have to be a seamstress to get it
badass.
Going.
You're, kicking ass. All your friends, people want to be your friend. Girls will want to talk to you. So, anyway, you want something like that, email me at preppingbadass, or no, what is it? preppingbadass@gmail.com. That's the one.
Gotta know your own.
So email me at preppingbadass@gmail.com. We'll have it in the show notes. And if you're one of the first 50, then I'll send it out to you. Just you got to make sure you send me your address so I know where to send it. And if not, if it's too late, you can also go check us out on Patreon. And if you become a donor for, I think, $10 a month, you also can get a free patch. But if you're one of the first lucky 50, and usually by Sunday night, once the new podcast comes out Saturday night, by Sunday night it's got over 100 downloads. So if you're into it, you might want to act fast and send me an email. Otherwise, check us out at preppingbadass.com. I'm sure at some point we'll have a link where you can purchase this patch. And leave us a review on the iTunes. And with that, have a good week, stay safe, and keep surviving.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.